Speak Less, Achieve More, a boy's motivational journey. In a small town nestled between green hills and quiet rivers, there lived a boy named Ethan. He was known for being talkative, always explaining, always defending, always trying to prove himself right. Whether in school debates or arguments with his parents, Ethan always had something to say. One day, after losing a local speech contest, he stormed out of the auditorium. His grandfather, an old carpenter with kind but wise eyes, found him sitting outside, kicking stones. "What's wrong, Ethan?" he asked gently. "I don't get it, Grandpa," Ethan sighed. "I spoke with all my heart. I said everything I wanted to say, but I still lost." His grandfather smiled softly. "Maybe you said too much." Ethan frowned. "Too much? Isn't speaking well the key to winning?" The old man chuckled. "Sometimes, the loudest person in the room is the one who understands the least. Real strength isn't always in words. It's in what you do when the words stop." That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. His grandfather's words echoed in his head. So, the next morning, he decided to test this strange idea, to speak less and do more. At school, when classmates mocked him for being quiet, he didn't argue back. Instead, he focused on his work. He listened more in class. He noticed things others ignored, how the teacher smiled when someone helped clean the board, how a simple thank you could calm an argument, how silence made people reveal who they really were. Over time, Ethan started to change. He wasn't the loudest anymore, but he was the most observant. He began solving problems quietly, helping others without seeking attention. When the school organized a science fair, everyone expected the confident talkers to win. But Ethan had been working in silence, building something extraordinary, a simple, hand-powered water filter made from recycled materials. On the day of the competition, others gave long speeches and dramatic presentations. Ethan spoke briefly. "This filter doesn't need power. It just needs hope and hands willing to build." Then he poured muddy water through it. A few seconds later, clean water dripped out. The judges were silent, then applauded. He had said only 14 words, yet his invention spoke louder than any speech that day. After the fair, Ethan's story spread around the town. Reporters asked for interviews, teachers praised his creativity, and his classmates looked at him differently. But when someone asked him how he did it, Ethan smiled and said, "I stopped trying to sound smart. I started trying to be useful." Years passed. Ethan grew up and started a small company that built low-cost water filters for poor villages. He never became famous for his speeches, but for his impact. Whenever people asked him for advice, he'd share the same lesson his grandfather once gave him. Words can inspire for a moment, but actions inspire for a lifetime. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Ethan visited his grandfather's grave. He placed a small wooden plaque beside it, carved with his own hands. On it were just 3 words. Speak less. Do. He stood there in silence, not because he didn't have anything to say, but because he had finally learned